Killian Sheridan, full forward wearing number 17, Philip Brady, and some of the left wearing number 15, Carney. We'd like to give a quick welcome and a very warm welcome to your match referee, Michael Kennedy, who's from Tipperary, County Tipperary, and to his team of officials. Okay, so could the teams please resume resume their pre-match positions, and we'll start with our own league. In advance of today's game, we just want to bring your attention to the fact that we're having a moment's silence for the memory of the late Cavan Flynn, who passed away to his eternal reward during the week. Cavan was a native of Galway, County Leitrim, and was a resident at the time of his death at Clonee, County Meath. Was a former Leitrim footballer of renowned status, and was one of Leitrim's, I suppose, what we call our famous terrible twins, with himself and Paddy McGarty, and Paddy passed to his eternal reward early in April. So we'd like you to stand please for a moment's silence for the memory of the late Cavan Flynn.
And you're very welcome here to Park Sean Mcdermott for the third round clash of Leitrim and Cavan in the National Hurling League. We have, of course, the final round of games in this year's Division 3B of the Alliance National Hurling League, and it's a lovely day here in Avon Money Park Sean Mcdermott. The Leitrim players in a huddle down to our left as Cavan take to the field. It's a must-win clash for Cavan if they want any hope of reaching the division final. They currently sit on 1 point from their first two games. Leitrim, of course, bottom of the table at the moment. Nothing but pride to play for. Maybe a starting jersey in the championship in a couple of weeks' time. And the team's just taken to the field here. My name is Breffney Early, and today's commentary is brought to you, and coverage is brought to you in association with winawedding.ie, of course, sponsors of today's coverage here on Leitrim GA's YouTube channel. It's been a disappointing start to the league campaign for Leitrim. We'll run through the teams with you very, very shortly as referee Michael Kennedy prepares to get things underway here in Avon Money Park Sean Mcdermott. And it's Cavan who come away with the ball. But it's a scrappy start to the game as Freddie Williams loses possession to James Mcdermott, but nobody quite managing to get control of the ball just yet. A little bit of a skirmish there in front of the referee. He looks like he might be about to throw the ball in, and he does. Dave McGovern just makes his way away. The referee takes control of the game again. He's looking for two players, and it's Conor Mcdermott in against Freddie Williams for the ball again. A little bit scrappy for Leitrim come away. Dave McGovern with the ball, and it is Conor Mcdermott who comes away with the ball, but it's a bit all over the place in the early exchanges here. No team quite managing to get to grips with the pace of the game just yet, but that's much better from a Leitrim point of view, and it's down towards James Mcdermott there who swings across, and it's not actually, it's Sean O'Riordan has the first opportunity for Leitrim before a block shot, but it comes out to a Leitrim player and it's in the back of the net. It trickles across the line. It's the strangest of starts there for Leitrim, but we'll take it however way it goes in. That is trying to make out from the number on the back of the jersey. It looks like Liam Morton with that strike there, and Liam Morton opens the scoring in the first minute of the game. 1 goal to no score to Leitrim here as Cavan prepare to get us underway. We'll run through the teams very quickly here. In number 1 for Leitrim in goals is Danny Byrne of Carrick Hurling. At the back, it's Paul Lenihan in the corner, David McGovern at fullback, and Enda Morton at the other corner. Aaron McDermott, number 5, Liam Morton, 6 and 7 is Martin Feeney, 8 is Ben Murray, 9 Cathal O'Donovan, Sean O'Riordan a right half forward, while Conor Maguire is on the 45. Conor McDermott at 12, Dermot Kelleher 13, Stephen Goldrick 14, and James McNabola at 15. So a few changes there from the team that was initially called out earlier in the week on social media. In terms of Cavan, they also have 4 changes from their announced starting lineup. Darren Sheridan in goals, number 1, Nassan Neary, 2, 3 is Dominic Crudden, 4 is Mark Moffat, 5 Anthony Sheridan, 6 Enda Shalvey, 20 lines out in the left half forward line, left half back line. Shane Bryady, Matthew Hines at midfield, and he'll be partnered by Jack Barry, while Sean Keating will line out in right half forward. Dermot Carney at 11, Freddie Williams at 12, Killian Shannon at 13, and replacing the talisman Brian Fitzgerald at full forward is Philip Brady, while Cavan Carney will be filling out the number 15 jersey today for Cavan. And it's Leitrim in control of this game. 1 goal up early on. David McGovern playing out in the middle of the park, finds Liam Morton, can't control the ball, but it comes back to Leitrim's side. Liam Morton again on the ball, and he gets a bit of space. He's angling for a shot, but he's in close proximity to Cavan, but that's a great effort, and the umpire signals it has indeed gone over the bar, and that is his second score of the game, Leitrim's second score of the game. We're 3 minutes in. It's Leitrim 1-1, Cavan 0-0. So a 4-point lead for Leitrim early in the game, and a great start for Liam Morton as Cavan took a short kick out, or puck out to Killian Sheehan. He controls it, he gets back inside the Leitrim man, but he's away now, and he has a teammate in possession. And it comes to Enda Shalvey, who long ball into the corner. There's no Cavan player there. Will the Cavan make it to the sideline before the ball? No, he won't. It runs out, and Cavan Carney cannot keep the ball in possession. It'll be another puck out for Danny Byrne in the Leitrim goal. Some positional changes here for Leitrim as we see the likes of Martin Feeney in playing full back. And there's a couple of other positional switches from the team that we lined out. I suppose the team, not to be taken too accurately in terms of where people will actually line out. David McGovern out on the field, middle of the field, as we mentioned. Liam Morton named at centre back, but playing as a full forward at the moment. And that is an absolutely huge score from Cavan. And looks to see the centre back, Enda Shalvey, who hits that and reduces the deficit to just a single goal here in Avon Money Park. Sean McDermott, a long puck out from Danny Byrne, and it's down towards a group of players. David McGovern's in there, as is Ben Murray. Ben Murray is adjudged to have over-carried the ball. It wasn't Ben Murray actually in the end, it was Aaron McDermott. Is adjudged to over-carry the ball, and a free to Cavan here. And it will be, again, Enda Shalvey who prepares to take that. No, Anthony Sheridan over the ball. He scoops it up and sends it down towards the Leitrim goal. 2 Leitrim players in there, 1 Cavan man. Who's going to win the ball? The goalkeeper Danny Byrne gets it cleared, but only as far as Philip Brady, who gains possession out in the far corner for Cavan. He plays it back inside, but overhits the pass. It's going to be a tussle between the 2 players, and it comes to the Cavan man who gets it up and out before it's intercepted by McGovern. That's good covering from the Leitrim captain, and he finds space down the far side. He plays it to Aaron McDermott, and it's going to be a tussle between himself and the cornerback Nasser Neri to see who can get possession of the ball. Number 12 for Leitrim is Carl McDermott. He finds a bit of space out on the right hand side. He makes good distance down the side, but drops the ball, wins possession back. He gets the ball in towards the centre of the goal, and it's the Cavan player who comes away with it, but he drops the ball, and we have a bit of a tussle there for possession. A slipped player, but Anthony Sheridan recovers for Cavan and clears the danger out to his midfield partner, but he plays it down the pitch, and it drops down as far as Cathal O'Donovan. Cathal O'Donovan comes away with the ball and finds a great possession out on the right hand side to Carl McDermott. Carl McDermott's blocked down but wins the sideline ball for Leitrim. We do have a correction. Killian Shannon got the first score for Cavan. I think so. And that ball is cleared out to the right hand side for Cavan to come on to. Ball played over to the far side of the pitch, and it's for Brady to battle to try and get possession of that, and he does. He gets away well, and looking to find space, and that's a great effort, and that is a point for Cavan, and it comes from their number 4, Mark Moffat. And sideline ball for Cavan on the far side of the pitch to be taken by Matthew Hines. Breaks in the middle for Cavan. And long ball in. And it's going to go to the right and wide. And that gives Leitrim the opportunity to relieve the pressure. And it'll be Danny Byrne to restart the ball down to David McGovern. He comes out, it's challenged, and Anthony Sheridan comes away with the ball. Jack Barry in supports and looks to be fouled, but the referee says no play on, and now the referee is going to step in and see what happens. It's probably going to be a throw in here for both sides, as the referee deems no foul, but he picks 2 players, puts it in, and it's Leitrim man Aaron McDermott that comes away with the ball. McDermott not enough on that pass, but he gets it to James McNabola, who wins the free. I think that's for the original foul on Aaron McDermott. Killian Shannon and McNabola having a few words. And as we said, some positional switches here for both sides, as not lining out exactly as named on the team sheet, but that drifts to the right and wide, and McDermott will be disappointed with that. effort, and unfortunately it's another wide for Leitrim as they look to try and regain some pride from a disappointing league campaign so far. Good puck out there from Darren Sheridan, but it falls to Mcdermott, who can't collect. Again, it falls back down to Anthony. Martin Feeney finds the space to clear. He clears into space, but that's just going to run to a Cavan man who comes onto it and decides to take time and plays it across into Enda Shalvey in the centre of the pitch. It goes down the left-hand side before an effort into the danger area for Cavan, and Cavan haven't had much luck from that tactic so far, although it's broken their direction now, but that looks to be a wide, and it comes off a Cavan foot, and it will be a puck out for Leitrim. Another good puck out towards McGovern. McGovern just clipped off his hands, and it falls then to Killian Shannon, who's playing on the backs today for Cavan. He has a long-range effort and looks to be good based on the body language of the umpires, and of course that is the white flag. It's back to a one-point game, and Cavan really beginning to come into the ascendancy here as Leitrim, who took an early 4-point lead, it's now pegged back to 1 after just 10 minutes of play. Martin Feeney there seemed to have been hit as the ball was leaving, but he holds his toe as the ball is cleared down the far end of the pitch, and it comes down to Shannon there, who seems to have been mopping up everything at the back for Cavan. Well cleared, but it's going to fall to McGovern. McGovern can't control it, and it comes out to Matthew Hines. Matthew Hines finds Anthony Sheridan outside him. He finds a ball down the right hand side. Again, it comes down to Ciarán Kearney, who under pressure in the corner here, dispossessed, but manages to get possession back before he also ends up just losing control of the ball, and it goes out for a Leitrim sideline on the near side here under the main stand in Avon Money Park. Sean Mcdermott, and Leitrim will prepare to get the ball out of a tight space for themselves down the line, and it comes to McGovern. McGovern also fails to control. He just hasn't quite found his range yet in the game today. One of Leitrim's most reliable performers, just not quite on the game yet, but we expect better things from him as the game progresses. And it is Anthony Sheridan here for Cavan. Take the sideline ball and intercepted by Leitrim. And it's a great clearance, but it's going to go as far as Cavan. Oh, it's over the head of the Cavan man. It's into the Leitrim attacker on the end line, and that seems to be a bit of a foul, and I wouldn't be surprised to see the referee giving a free in here, and he has. Whistle blown. 13 for Leitrim is Diarmuid Kelleher. The Carrick and Shannon man has managed to win the free in, and that comes from that body check as he put the ball past his direct opponent, and it will be Aaron Mcdermott on free taking duties today. Gavin O'Hagan, normally so reliable on frees, isn't on the starting 15 today, so Carl McDermott has stepped up into that free taking role, and he stands over this as he prepares to put Leitrim back on the scoreboard for the first time in 9 minutes in this game, and he does, as you would expect from that kind of range for a player of his ability. And it is Leitrim 1-2, Cavan 3 points, and going into the 13th minute of the game. Plenty of options for the goalkeeper to hit here on both wings, but he elects to go long, and it's going to break into the half forward line for Cavan before it's broken down to the centre forward, Diarmuid Kearney. He can't quite get control of the ball, and it's before it's kicked out to McGovern out on the left hand side. McGovern down to well, it's intercepted by Cavan man, but it's Enda Shalvey on the ball, and he comes out best of that tussle with 2 Leitrim men before it's played down into Leitrim territory, and it's going to fall nicely for a Cavan hurl, and it's Mark Moffat who finds possession, and that looks to be Philip Brady who's been fouled, or maybe it's back for the original foul on Moffat as the referee signals he wants to talk to somebody, probably a Leitrim player, about an infraction, and it is Enda Morton who's going to have a little chat with the referee. We'll see what comes out of that. At the moment he fouled Moffat originally. It's a yellow card for Enda Morton, of course, who plays his football Leitrim Gales, but a Carrick Hurling in this code. There's a lot of crossover between those two clubs as Diarmuid Kearney stands over the ball and prepares to halve the deficit here for the Breffni men. He strikes that reasonably well. The umpire is happy with it. They raise the white flag, and it is a point for Dermot Kearney from the free there. 1, 2 to 4 points in favour of Leitrim as the ball comes back out again from Danny Byrne. McGovern again, he's been involved in everything but just hasn't quite managed to make it work, and that's unfortunately another situation in the exact same vein. David McGovern, the ball just trails out over the sideline. I'm not so sure it's anything to do with David. I think it's more the direction of the puck outs just seems to be hard to control, but it does leave Enda Shalvey with an opportunity here to take a sideline cut, and the ball comes in. It's gone to Cavan before Ben Murray makes a bit of space and clears that ball down. It's coming down towards the Leitrim forward line, but it's going to fall to the Cavan man who comes out with it. That's a great piece of work there from the Cavan defender, Killian Shannon, who's fouled, and he wins a free, which will give Cavan the opportunity to build another attack here from their own 45-metre line. And it's going to be Anthony Sheridan again over this one. Hasn't been a great game so far, but I think we're seeing a bit of doggedness coming in from both sides. Ball goes, it's a poor free by all accounts from the wing back there from Anthony Sheridan, and it's gone straight to Leitrim, who have decided they want to give the ball back to Cavan as well, but it's actually been won by the Leitrim full forward there, Dermot Kelleher in possession. He wins, but again can't keep hold of it as Cavan break. Poor ball across there to Enda Shalvey, puts him under pressure, but he manages to clear his lines, and it's going to come out to the centre forward, Dermot Kearney. He's very deep, but he tries to play in a teammate who is going to find himself in a very close proximity to a Leitrim player very, very quickly. Freddie Williams finds a way down the line, but that looks to be off the ground. Referee says no play on and gives the free out. Seems a bit of a strange one, but Sean Keating adjudged to have fouled the ball, and Leitrim get a chance to clear their lines here under the main stand. Stephen Goldrick named at 14, but playing in the full back line, and he has cleared it only as far as his teammate Aaron Mcdermott. Of course, plenty of brothers playing on the team today. The two McDermott's brothers, also the two Mortons. Normally three, no column in today's squad. But Enda and Liam, both regulars in the Leitrim team over the years. And that's Enda. He plays it to his, that's not Liam, that's actually Dermot Kelleher, who's been out on the opposite wing this time. He takes time, he takes a steady shot, but that is going to go well wild, if it even crosses the end line. It does eventually, and that's a poor wide for Leitrim, and it's still 1 point lead for Leitrim as we get to the halfway point of the first half. And neither side will be too impressed with their performance so far, but we are, it's a warm day out here, and I think the temperatures might start getting to these players as their exertions. As McGovern hits one from long range, it's going to drop in around the goalkeeper. Liam Morton, plenty of challenge there for him, and he's been helped there by Sean O'Riordan, but adjudged to have fouled the Cavan player Killian Shannon, and that'll be a free out for Cavan. But the goalkeeper Darren Sheridan looks to be in a spot of bother, and the physio making her way onto the pitch to see if he needs any further help. Referee is just settling things down. The score, of course, here in Avon Money Park, Sean Mcdermott, is 1-2 to 4 points as Darren Sheridan prepares to take this free out. Physio's decided no attention required, and Darren will take this effort, try and find a Cavan hand, and manages to find Shannon, who's free on the left hand side for Cavan. He gets a bit of space for himself, and he finds his teammate Freddie Williams in the middle of the field. He cuts it across, but it's a bit stray, but it ends up in the hands of Shane Brady, who gets the ball down. It's well gathered there by Stephen Goldrick, who comes away with it nice and solid there and brings it as far as Conor McDermott. Finds Morton down in the corner, drops the ball, but gets a free kick, or gives away a free kick. The linesman seemed to indicate one direction. The referee has decided there was a foul before the ball crossed the line on Dominic Crudden, and he's going to have words with Morton, I think. and we could see a second yellow card for a Leitrim player at this stage of the game. We'll just wait to see what the referee has to say about this, but it's Dominic Crudden receiving treatment at the moment. And Liam Wharton picks up a yellow card for his troubles. It's a second yellow card for Leitrim. Hasn't been a particularly dirty game. It's just, I suppose, a little bit careless and a little bit just off the pace, I suppose is probably the best way of describing it. In terms of the game we're back on, it's a 1-point lead for Leitrim. No change to the score in the last 8 or 10 minutes or so. But that's a poor ball from Darren Sheridan. Kind of sums up the game so far, really. And it has that feel of a game at the end of a season where Leitrim can't qualify for a semi-final. This game really is all about pride for them. Cavan can, but it will take results elsewhere going their way. And it's probably unlikely at this point, given how the game is going this far. We'll bring you the exact situation with that later on in the broadcast. In terms of the substitute, that's a poor pass from Cavan, and it goes straight to Sean O'Riordan, who gets a lucky bounce. To be fair, it comes back to him, and it's back to Jeremy Keller. Jeremy Keller with a bit of space, and he gets a chance, and that's a fortunate point, but Leitrim will take it. It's the first score in 10 minutes, and it's Leitrim's first score in much longer than that. It's Leitrim's first score in maybe the second score since the 3rd minute of the game, so they're quite happy to just keep that ticking over as we go to a water break here in Avon Money Park, Sean Mcdermott, for the Division 3B clash between Cavan and Leitrim. The score is Leitrim 1-3, Cavan 4 points, a 2-point lead for Leitrim going into this. And I suppose this is a good opportunity for us to remind you about our sponsor for today's broadcast, and that is winawedding.ie. It's a promotion in association with Leitrim GAA and Lochrin Estate and Gardens, a fabulous venue in Mull, where you or anyone you want can win a wedding to the value of €25,000 for 150 guests, and that draw will be happening very, very soon. 70% of tickets are now sold for that competition, so do take the opportunity. You can use that for a wedding up to January 2025. So even if you're not quite at that stage of your life, or you're getting that in that direction, you can of course win that wedding and use it at some later point over the next number of years. We might remind you of the substitutions, the substitute lists for today's game. And for Leitrim, number 16 is Lorcan Donlan. Number 17 is playing, he's on the pitch, but Colin Maguire, 18, is also playing. 19, Conor Hackett. 20, Enda Morton is on the pitch as we see. Shane Wren is 21. Paddy Clerkin is 23, Gavin O'Brien is 24, 25 Peter Poignard, and 26 is Shane Crowe. And also players who were originally in the initial starting 15 but didn't field, they also complete the bench today. Cian Mallon is number 2, Paul Early is number 4, Gavin O'Hagan number 10, and James Rooney number 11. For Cavan, we have Niall Clerkin in goals for number 16. Number 18 is Bart Nannery. Number 22 is Darren Madden. 23, Adam Baldwin. 24, Sean McKeough. 25 is Eugene Hill. And 26 is Liam Og Cook. Number 7, Philip McCabe. Number 9, Fiacre Higgins. Number 10, James Smith. And number 14, Brian Fitzgerald may feature wearing those numbers. Originally named in the starting 15, they did not start this game. We're back with a puck out for Cavan, and that's Darren Sheridan starts the game again as we go into the second quarter of this match, and that's going to break down to a Cavan player, and it is Mark Moffat. He unceremoniously dumped off that ball, suspicion of a foul, but Leitrim come away with the ball, and there is a foul. Referee, you're not going to have a word with anyone in that particular occasion, but Jack Barry judged to have fouled Cathal O'Donovan, who broke from deep. And it's Ben Murray now who will attempt to get this game restarted. O'Donovan dusts himself off as he makes himself away from the ball. Ben Murray down the left-hand side of the pitch, but it's going to be intercepted by a Cavan hurl, and it is. It's Anthony Sheridan who comes away with that. He finds a teammate in the shape of Enda Shalvey. Ball comes in, and there's a foul adjudged for a pull. The referee has spotted that, and it looks to be number 22, Paul Lenihan, who has fouled the Cavan player, Caoimhín Carney, on the edge of the box. The referee has placed it just on the 21-metre line, and is going to have a word with one of the Leitrim players as well. He's making notes. He hasn't shown a card, but he may still do. Nope, no card it seems on this occasion, but it is number 11 Dermot Carney who's going to be standing over this, and you would expect him to reduce the deficit to a single point with this effort. And he makes no mistake, that is a point. And we are Leitrim 1-3, Cavan 5 points as we enter the 22nd minute of this game. Long puck out from Danny Byrne down the left hand side. It's fallen to a Leitrim hand, kept in play, but it's kept in play for the benefit of Cavan, and they managed to get the ball down before it bounces down here underneath us in the stand, before Martin Feeney comes away with the ball. That drops to Ben Murray. Ben Murray picks the ball up and he clears it down the field. It's going to go over the head of everybody down to Dermot Kelleher. Kelleher picks the ball up, can't get it quite into his hand, does it the second time of asking, and he gets around that player really, really well. Kelleher out on the left, and he's won that 65, I think. Umpire seems to be coming out to signal 65 eventually when he gets there. But it appeared to come off the Cavan hurl last, and indeed it has. He has given the 65, and it'll come back out for, I would imagine, Carl Mcdermott to hit this, and that looks to be the case. Carl Mcdermott in possession out on the 65, about halfway between the goal and the sideline. Leitrim are playing into the wind, or what little bit of a wind there is to here today in Avonmoney Park, Sean McDermott. But the flags just behind the goal are blown towards the scoreboard end here, and that looks to be drifting to the right, and the umpire indicates that is the situation. Another wide for Leitrim, disappointing. They keep the 1 point lead here as we go into another Cavan play. Darren Sheridan looking for options. He goes long towards the middle of the field, and it comes out towards Freddie Williams. It's dropping out, and it's well caught there by Cavan, and that is fairly straightforward. Great opportunity for Jack Barry, but he's sent it to the right and wide. Scores remain as they were. The catch was probably one of the best catches we've seen all day in a crowd. And that's a poor puck out as well from Leitrim. It goes straight to Philip Brady in the Cavan colours. He comes away with the ball, but he can't keep possession either. And it comes back as far as Enda Morton on the Leitrim team. He sends it down, but only as far as Cavan player. And back in towards Dermot Carney. Dermot Carney looking to find a bit of space for himself, and he does. But it's unceremoniously ended there by Stephen Goldrick. Stephen Goldrick comes away with the ball. He finds McGovern over in the centre of the field, but McGovern just can't get into possession. Does eventually. But it will be Cavan who come away with it. And that's a fairly vicious challenge from Goldrick. And Stephen Goldrick, I think, more unfortunate in the circumstances that he just happened to turn into the shoulder. But referee has adjudged it to be overzealous, and Stephen Goldrick could be the third player in the book for Leitrim today. Unfortunate for Goldrick. He was coming in, and the Cavan player Anthony Sheridan just seemed to turn into the challenge. Probably made it look worse than it actually was. Sheridan's okay to take this free, but Stephen Goldrick, third player in the book for Leitrim. Cavan player getting attention there. It is Shalvey, the centre half back, and he looks to be in a bit of paw there, possibly a shoulder concern. The physio looks towards the bench. It doesn't really look great for Shalvey, but we'll see if he's okay to continue. It'll be very early to lose one of their better players on the day so far. For Cavan, he'd be a huge loss, but it doesn't look good from the way the shoulders has been held by him. But we'll see. The referee seems to be sharing the concern, but he looks okay, and he shakes it off, and a couple of windmills, and we're back to good as gold for Shalvey, who's been very, very good for Cavan today. That's a long ball out. It's well controlled at the end by Cavan, but second time asking, Leitrim come away with the ball, and that is down to Ben Murray, who comes down and finds the suspicion of over-carrying that ball, but it's going to drop into the middle of 3 Cavan players. No pressure at all here from Leitrim. Skips by Carl McDermott and makes plenty of mileage down the side of the pitch. In fact, he gets past 2 or 3 other Leitrim players, and that will be the score of the game. But as much as it can be said, that was a poor finish after some really, really good work there from the Cavan wing back. But Killian Shannon has been impressive today. Normally a forward, named in the forwards today, but obviously lining out in that kind of sweeper free role at the back. It shows he has a little bit of quality when he wants to show it off, but just the shooting let him down. He's on the ball again here for a sideline cut. Takes it short, and they lose a bit of territory, but they will keep possession here through Matthew Hines. And Hines plays the ball over, but it's loose again, and David McGovern plays the ball back in again, loose from Leitrim. It's been that kind of scrappy encounter from both teams. That's a great ball out to Anthony Sheridan, and he's got space out on the right hand side for Cavan, so he sends it long into the corner forward Cavan Kearney, but it's over his head, and it will fall to Paul Lenihan, who covers that really, really well for Leitrim. He pulls away, and he's got the legs on his immediate marker, and that will be Martin Feeney. Martin Feeney gets the ball out, and he's got time on the right hand side. He plays it down into the corner. It's going to be Liam Morton. Liam Morton gets the ball turned, and he will get that sideline cut. I imagine if it goes, it doesn't go. Linesman quite happy that it stayed on the pitch, and can't make out a number there yet. It's James McNabola in the corner. He plays it back to Carl McDermott. Carl McDermott fails to control it, but we get it back to. And there's very little in that challenge, but number 11, Jimmy Carney, probably lucky that he just didn't make as much contact as Stephen Goldrick did a couple of minutes ago. And that's well won by Ben Murray, and he breaks through. Great ball there from Murray. It's coming in. McGovern's in challenging for it. It drops over their heads, but it's cleared to a Cavan player. And a 50-50 ball there, and the referee has given it in the direction of Cavan. He's adjudged a foul on behalf of the Leitrim player, and it's going to be a free for Matthew Hines. And the ref just makes his way down the pitch. I'm not sure if he's going to have a chat with somebody or if he's just taking up a better position for the next play. Yep, just moving down the pitch. In terms of the player back at the 45-metre line with Cavan, they find a Cavan hurl out on the right-hand side of the pitch. Great block there from number 20 for Leitrim, Enda Morton, but it will be a sideline ball for Cavan. Philip Brady is on it at the moment, looking for it short, but elects to leave it to Jim Carney, who's coming over now. Sideline cut, but it's poor, and it's going to be Ben Murray who comes away with that again. Ben Murray down the sideline. McNabola just doesn't quite go where he wants it to go, but that is won by Enda Shalvey, who we did see almost in serious pain a couple of minutes ago, is now back up and back active in the game. That's Martin Feeney. It's Martin Feeney, and that falls down to Carl McDermott, and it comes back into Freddie Williams on the pitch for Cavan, who brings it down. 21 is Sean Keating. We haven't heard his name mentioned much, but that's a long-range effort. Will it go over the bar? Looks good from distance, and it is. And we are level here in Avonmoney Park. Sean McDermott, 1-3 to Leitrim, 6 points to Cavan. As we get an update from Corrigan Park in Belfast in the Ladies National Football League Division 4, Leitrim 4-5, Antrim 1-5. It's a good solid start to that first half for Leitrim up there in Corrigan Park as they approach half-time in that particular clash. Back here in the meantime, it is Leitrim 1-3, Cavan 6 points, as we correct our scoreboard here. And it's an opportunity here from Cavan from almost halfway to put themselves in the lead for the first time in the game. Just to remind you, Leitrim did score a goal in the first minute of this game through Liam Morton. He added a point very quickly afterwards, and since then it's been all Cavan really. 6 points to 2 since the third minute of the game. A bit worrying for the Leitrim management as we go into the half time here. Just seems to have been a little bit of a drop off in intensity from Leitrim. Schoolboy errors on both sides really haven't made it a fantastic game to watch, but that's the first lead point, should I say, of the game for Leitrim, for Cavan. They lead 7 points to 1-7. Now it's my turn. Scoreboard's correct this time, man. It's the commentator's curse. And we move down. David McGovern comes out with a hand and wins possession for Leitrim, but knocks it down to a teammate. It's come out, and it's a battle there on the ball. It seemed to be a foul on Leitrim, but the referee not interested, as Shalvey comes away with the ball for Cavan. He wins the free, and yes, the referee has indicated it's a free. Shalvey wins it, and I would imagine we'll see Diarmuid Kearney now, who's found his range, it seems, from halfway with the last opportunity. He might fancy his chances as we approach the half-time break here. There's of course 2.5 minutes of the regulation plus a couple of minutes of stoppages, so we might have about 5 minutes left in this half. But Diarmuid Kearney will look to double Cavan's lead as we go into the second, and that's tail into the left, but it's going to drop, and it's kept in play and knocked out for a 65 by Martin Feeney. Good work there from Sean Keating, who managed to keep the ball in play, but it will be a 65, and we've seen a score from this range just moments ago from Diarmuid Kearney. He'll be hoping to do that again for Cavan. It's a 1 point lead for Cavan coming into the last 2 minutes of regulation time in this first half. Of course, Cavan manager is Ollie Bellew, and he is from the St. Gall's Club in Antrim, and he's managed extensively at third level with Jordanstown and St Mary's University College Belfast, as well as been involved with Armagh in the past, and he'll be hoping to bring Cavan on, and that is a point for Cavan as they increase their lead. Number 17, Philip Brady, with a good opportunistic effort from close enough range. The ball dropped short, fell to him, and he managed to put it over the bar. We do have 2 balls on the pitch at the moment, but we're going to play on anyway. That's Ben Murray, and Ballinascarthy man gets the ball out to the right hand side, and that is for Liam Morton to chase, but it will be a Leitrim sideline ball. Good work from Morton, put pressure on the Cavan man. It's gone out for a Leitrim ball, and we're looking at Ben Murray, the man from West Cork, who'll be hoping to create something from this. He doesn't get it off the ground, unfortunately, but that is Anthony Sheridan who makes his way across, but he has miscontrolled it. Actually, it's the fullback Dominic Crudden, and he has miscontrolled it out over the sideline with 1 minute of extra time to play. So we have about 90 seconds left in the half, and this will be Murray's midfield partner, Cathal O'Donovan from Arrogleen Rovers. And the ball comes in long, it's knocked down and drops down to Enda Shalvey, controls it to himself, but it only comes out as far as the Leitrim hand. And that looks to be a great score, and it's from the hurl of Liam Morton, who finds his range from distance this time, and he brings it back to a single point as we go into the last minute of the game here, or last minute of the half, should I say, in Carrick-on-Shannon. And it is Philip Brady who wins that ball. He gives it off to Diarmuid Kearney. Diarmuid Kearney takes it around and finds a Cavan player. Oh, what a save. That is a fantastic save by Danny Byrne in the Leitrim goal. It is a point, yes, but could have been an awful lot worse, and point blank effort. A fantastic save from the Leitrim netminder. Sees Cavan with the point, but 1 rather than 3 thanks to that fantastic effort in goals for Leitrim. It's 9 points to Cavan, 1-4 to Leitrim, 7 points total, 2 points in the difference, and it is Cavan who lead. Leitrim looking to get 1 score before the half-time whistle, and they get it down that sideline, but it will be a Cavan interception, and it is, and it looks to be 13, Killian Shannon, who's been everywhere. He finds Enda Shalvey in the middle of the field, and that's loose control from Nassan Neary, but he gets away with it, and it's Cavan who build again. Cavan coming down towards Cavan Clancy. Cavan Clancy out on that far side, and it's 22, Paul Lenihan, who challenges for that, and it looks to be the half-time whistle. Referee has decided enough is enough. He has seen enough, and the teams go in at the interval 2 points in the difference. Cavan lead here in Avonmoney Park. Sean Mcdermott against Leitrim. It's 1-4 to Leitrim, 9 points to Cavan, a 2-point lead for the Breffni men, and we will be back with you shortly for the second half in association with winawedding.ie.
Well, word has just filtered through that Leitrim GAA, in association with the Loughrinn Castle Estate, have come up with an idea, a plan, a raffle, a draw for a wedding worth €25,000. The winner of this prize will be able to bring 150 people to lovely Leitrim, to the wonderful Loughrinn Castle Estate, and have their big day. My problem is that there's probably some mean Cavan bastard waiting for this opportunity. A lad gone out with a woman in Kilnelec for the last 14 years, and he's going to win this prize. And he'll bring his 150 guests to the Loughrinn Castle Estate, and they'll have their big day and go home full as ticks. And then him and the woman will take in to making children, and they'll all play for Cavan, with the result that Leitrim will once again be denied an All-Ireland title. I mean, why didn't they put up a house? There's loads of houses in Leitrim worth €25,000, or a tractor. Well, maybe not a tractor, but a drawbar for a tractor. Anyway, it's a wedding. You can enter by going to www.winawedding.ie. Anyone can enter, even a priest. Good luck.
And we're back here for the second half of this Alliance National Hurling League Division 3B clash between Leitrim and Cavan. Cavan lead by 2 points going into the second half as Michael Kennedy gets us back underway here. It's a long ball in from David McGovern. David McGovern in as far as Dermot Kelleher. Leitrim scored a goal in the first minute of the first half. Can they repeat the feat in this particular second half? And that comes back inside, and it's a great run from James McNabola, and it's just flashing across the face of the goal and wide. I think that was James McNabola who made that impact, but it was a great little run there from Dermot Kelleher, and he's made some nice interactions all day. It was McNabola as we get the number, but he was fouled, or judged to have been fouled coming through, and Carl Mcdermott will get an opportunity to cut the deficit here for Leitrim. I suppose anyone watching will be looking for a better performance from both sides in the second half. It was a scrappy enough and mistake-ridden first half from both teams. Not a great game to watch, but hopefully here in the sunshine in Avonmoney Park, Sean Mcdermott will get a better second half as Cavan do go and hope for that opportunity to make the final here in Division 3B of the Alliance National Hurling League. It's a good ball in from the midfielder to the Cavan man, but it's going to break here for Ben Murray. Ben Murray out on that. Yeah, it's a lovely little piece of skill from the Cork man. Originally from Cork, obviously, but moved up here for work a long time ago and has been playing with Leitrim ever since. And that is a foul against Colin Maguire, the Carrick Hurling man, introduced at the half-time break. We'll try and work out who he has replaced very shortly. But at the moment we are looking at a Dermot Kearney opportunity here for Cavan as they look to stretch the lead. And that's a good strike, and it's gone in, and the umpire clearly indicates it's gone over the bar. The second one raises the white flag, and it's back to a 2-point game in favour of Cavan. Stephen Goldrick has moved out to centre field. He was playing in the full back line in the first half. He's now picked up a kind of a midfield position as the ball makes its way down to James McNabola here in the distinctive red and white hat. The only problem is there's three of them wearing the exact same distinctive red and white hat. But that is a point for McNabola as he raises the white flag. Liam Morton also wearing the same colours, and Dermot Kelleher. So three of them in very close proximity. It's quite hard to tell them apart at times, and all three lethal when they do get their opportunities. Great puck out there from Danny Burnett. It's dropping into Cavan hands, but it will be Enda Morton to challenge, and Stephen Goldrick looks to have been fouled going into that, but the referee signals to play on, and it's come out for a Leitrim hand, and that looks like Ben Murray coming away with the ball again, and he plays it down into Liam Morton. Liam Morton tops it back for himself, has a bit of space here on the wing, and he takes it. That looks to be just drifting to the left, although a square ball has been awarded and the point will not stand. So free out for Cavan. And it was Dermot Kelleher just waiting in the box for that effort from Liam Morton. And Leitrim win a free out around the middle of the field. Seems to be a foul on Enda Morton. And Carl Mcdermott makes his way to his own 65-metre line just inside it to send this goalward. Not quite sure if he has the range for this, but it'll be interesting to see. But it's 80 metres from his opposing goal. There'll be some score if he gets this to level it up. It's 1-6 to 10 points in favour of the away side here now, and the ball trailing to the left, but the umpire's looking very closely at it. He reaches for the flag, and that is a fantastic score, well within his range. Had the accuracy as well, and we are level here in Avonmoney Park. Sean Mcdermott as Leitrim and Cavan do battle in the final round of games in Division 3B of the Alliance National Hurling League, and that's a great ball down from Cavan, down as far as Dara Madden. Dara Madden can't quite take possession of the ball, and it's going to be Leitrim who come away with it, and it looks to be Diarmuid Kelleher down there. He finds Carl Mcdermott outside of Mcdermott into space, but there's nobody in there, and the umpires signal a wide this time. A good effort from Mcdermott, but just tailed to the left of the goal and wide, and it remains 1-7 to 10 points in favour of both teams. It's draw. My basic maths eluding me just there. We do have a restart here from Darren Sheridan of Cavan, of course from the Mullahorn St Joseph's Club, reigning county champions, 26 times in all in Cavan. They have lifted the senior championship title. He's one of many of those players on the field today for Cavan from that particular club. Only the two clubs in Leitrim, of course, for those of you who might not be that familiar with club hurling in Leitrim. We have Carrick Hurling, who represent the south of the county, around Carrick and Shannon and the immediate environs, and also Clooney and Mont, or Glencarn and Hamilton, who are in the north of the county. All the players for one or other of those, and that's Carl Mcdermott point to put Leitrim ahead. A great score from the Manor Hamilton man from Clooney and Mont. And there's two teams in the championship. They've been very tight affairs, the county final, for the last couple of years in Leitrim. That's a great catch from 11 from Diarmuid Kearney of Cavan. He wins the free, but the referee missed the little swipe that was had there by Carl Mcdermott. But play goes on. That's another foul from Stephen Goldrick. He could be in trouble. That's a wild swing, and things beginning to lose a little bit of shape here for both teams, and maybe a little bit of frustration coming in on both teams in terms of the mistakes that are coming in. And I wouldn't be surprised to see the referee having words with a few people in a couple of minutes. That looks to be a great score in off the post from Mcdermott here underneath us. And a great score there from Leitrim, and Leitrim beginning to get back into the control of this game. 1-9 to 10 points, 2-point lead for the home side, and they've been on fire since the start of the second half. The referee needs to maybe just take a bit of a better control of this game, or we could see some wild situations developing over the next couple of minutes. A great pass out there to Diarmuid Kearney in a bit of space on the midfield, out on the left hand side, and it's going to drop inside to his teammate. 17 is Philip Brady. Philip Brady finds time and gets a swing, but blocked. Fantastic work by the Leitrim defence, but they are judged to have fouled, and the referee has decided it's a penalty. It looks to, or has he? Not quite sure what he has indicated, but he has moved central to the 21 metre line, and it looks like it will be a penalty for... don't think it's quite clear what's going on at the moment, but it will be Diarmuid Kearney who steps up for Louth to hit this. As we prepare to see a sub down here beneath us in the Leitrim colours, and Cian Mallon will be coming into the play, I'd imagine, after this particular action, and it is a free puck, should I say, for Diarmuid Kearney, and an opportunity for them to maybe find the back of the net, but what will he elect to do? And he taps it over the bar. It's 1 point for Cavan. It brings them back to the minimum, and it is Cian Mallon who enters the fray, and he'll be replacing Enda Morton on the Leitrim team. Mallon, of course, named in the original starting 15, but Morton took his place for the start of the game, and now rolls a reverse. Mallon enters the fray with about 8 minutes of the second half played, and that is a great ball down from the Leitrim goalkeeper, and that's a wild swing. He breaks the hurley across the shins of Matthew Hines, and that will be Con Maguire. He might be brought in to chat to the referee. The linesman going in and have a conversation now, and it was a wild swing from Maguire. He's gone to get a new hurley, but he might be find himself in less need of it than he thinks he might very shortly, as the referee calls him in for a chat, and this might not end very well for the Leitrim player as we await referee Michael Kennedy's decision. Linesman has come in and had a word with him, and he's reaching for what looks to be a yellow card. It's the fourth Leitrim name in the book. It is a substitute, Colin Maguire, who has been spoken to, and he receives a yellow card for his what can only be described as a wild swing at the legs of Matthew Hines. Hines doesn't seem too affected. Anthony Sheridan preparing here to take the free, and he sends it down towards the Leitrim goal. Looks to be a good distance on it down, and great catch by the Cavan forward, and he has been adjudged to have been fouled, by Martin Feeney, and the Clooney and Mont man could become the 5th Leitrim player to go into the book. And at this point, with the way the game is heading, temperatures beginning to rise a little bit of ill discipline from the Leitrim players, and we could see a second yellow for some player eventually in this game, because I think we could be in that kind of territory of, I wouldn't be surprised to see a player or maybe even two get their marching orders the way things are going in the last few minutes. That's a point for... The free was taken very quickly, and a point there for Cavan. I didn't actually see who took the free, but more than likely Diarmuid Kearney, based on how the game has gone so far. And that's a foul for Leitrim, as the Leitrim man gets unceremoniously dumped out over the sideline. Carl Mcdermott makes his way over to take this, and the other players all move away from the ball. Mcdermott just outside his own 45-metre line, almost on the sideline, on the far side, on the town side of the ground. And he'll be looking for a target in around the edge of the square. That's a big hit from Mcdermott. It's dropping in around the bar, and it comes in over the bar. What a save for the goalkeeper, just tap it over. But another great score from Carl Mcdermott as he adds to his tally for the game. It is now 110 to 12 points. 1 point lead for Leitrim at this stage of the game. Good work there from Cathal O'Donovan. He finds McGovern out on the left-hand side. He plays it in as far as Liam Morton. Gets a touch on the hurl, but ball runs out over the sideline and adjudged to have been fouled. And even though it's gone for a Cavan sideline, it will in fact be a Leitrim free, and McDermott stands over this to try and push Leitrim 1 point further into the lead from a very acute angle, but well within his range. We do have an update from the game up in Corrigan Park in Antrim. It's Leitrim ladies 5-6, Antrim ladies 1-9. So a 9 point lead still for Antrim up in that particular clash in Corrigan Park in Belfast. As Carl Mcdermott gets ready to have another strike at goal. He's had a fine second half performance so far, and he'll be looking to add to this tally so far. Great strike, but umpires seem to be moving towards the flag, and they reach down and we have a white flag. We have a score. It's 111 to 12 points. 2 point lead for the home side here, as they hope to regain a little bit of pride in their league performances so far. They've had one very near miss here against Louth 3 weeks ago, and then a disappointing result in Fermanagh, which has seen them drop into the bottom place in the table. But today would restore that bit of pride, take them off the bottom of the table. But that will be a free to Cavan, as Anthony Sheridan is adjudged to have been fouled. Although the referee seems to have disagreed with me, and he's given a sideline ball to Sligo, or to Cavan, or to Leitrim. Sligo aren't even playing. That's Carl Mcdermott. He's getting space, and he finds a great opportunity and puts it over the bar, and Leitrim are 3 ahead, 112 to 12 points. I was looking at the list of fixtures so I could bring them to your attention, and I got distracted there. But in terms of the men's football and hurling games, there are plenty of games being played all around the country today. Kilkenny, they lead Laois in Division 1B, 124 to 20 points, while in Division 3B, in this particular competition, the same round, Louth lead Fermanagh 210 to 14 points. That one will probably be the one of most interest to followers of the actual of this grade of competition. It seems to be a day for Louth at the moment. We'll bring you what that means for the league table in a very, very quick period of time when I get it up here in front of me. And that, of course, means that as it stands, Louth would top the table. Fermanagh would be in second place. But if Cavan were to win this game, they could, in theory, pass out Fermanagh in that opportunity. And we have words been had here with James McNabola, and it looks to be the 6th Leitrim player to have a conversation with the referee today. And Another yellow card issued to James McNabola. That's 6 in total to Leitrim, and discipline is beginning to become an issue as these challenges become more tempered in the last couple of minutes. So we'll be hoping that Leitrim can keep their...
That scoreboard was wrong. There was only 2 Cavan points. It should be 11, not 12, and it might make a difference if it's left there.
So, yeah, we have a situation where which is the question over the score. But we're just looking down here towards the sideline as the Cavan man gets judged to have been fouled, and it's a sideline to Leitrim, and there's a scuffle down here underneath the stand. So we move down again towards the Leitrim goal as the cornerback for Cavan, Nasser Neary's fouled, and it'll be a Cavan free as Anthony Sheridan makes his way down to the corner. Sheridan sends the ball out to the far side. David McGovern going after it. Also, but it's the Cavan man who comes back with the ball, and he finds his teammate off his shoulder, and the judge to foul there. Cian Mallon overzealous in his challenge, and that will be a Cavan free from just inside the halfway from the experienced Diarmuid Carney, and he'll be looking to add to his score today. He's been in fine form from the dead balls for Cavan. "20 minutes left in this game. Cavan must win. A win, given how the situation has been allowed on Fermanagh, would see them into a league final. But it remains to be seen if they can achieve that today here in Avonmoney Park. Sean Mcdermott, that ball trailing to the left, but very, very, yep, absolutely gone left of the goal, and that's another missed opportunity for Cavan. And a substitution for Leitrim, we'll see Sean O'Riordan make way, and it will be Gavin O'Hagan, the normal free taker for Leitrim, but we're also being called in for a water break here in Avonmoney Park. Sean Mcdermott as we go into the last quarter of the game, and it's advantage Leitrim at 112 to 12 points here in Avonmoney Park. Sean Mcdermott. Of course, time to remind you about today's match sponsor, and that is winaweding.ie. It's a collaboration between Leitrim GAA and Lochran Castle Estate and Gardens, and you have the opportunity to win a wedding for 150 of your closest friends and family to the value of €25,000. It's valid for the next 3.5 years till January 2025, but I'm sure things can be negotiated with on that one as well. Tickets selling fast. 70% of all the tickets in the draw sold. At €25, you can pick up your tickets on winaweding.ie, and it's an absolutely fantastic opportunity for any young couple or anyone who may have the need for a wedding in their world or renew the marriage vows over the next few years. And they have been kindly supporting today's broadcast. He's the last person. And we move down here from the bucket for Leitrim, and it breaks towards Cavan direction, and it comes to Killian Shannon, who can't get possession of the ball, but that will be Elton de Shalvey, and he sends it down, although it looks to be Martin Feeney out in front there for Leitrim, but Feeney can't get possession of the ball, but it rolls out across the sideline. It will be Leitrim ball from Darren Madden, whose intervention just sends the ball out over the sideline. And this will be, looks to be Cathal O'Donovan down there on his own 13-metre line, getting ready to send this for Leitrim. as Ulcan Conway, Leitrim manager, makes his way down the sideline here. He'll be happy enough with the second half performance of his side after a disappointing start for both teams in this particular encounter, but it's a great catch there from Mark Moffat, and he sends it back in. He did score in the first half. It's now gone over the bar. That's a fantastic score from Mark Moffat, playing in the backs today, and he's well able to find the distance and the range there from midfield as he finds another score from his hurl. Danny Byrne sends the ball down to the left-hand side, and it's going to drop to Carl McDermott. Carl McDermott hand up, but it falls to Shalvey on the Cavan team, and he picks out Freddie Williams. He's been relatively quiet for the last 15 or 20 minutes or so. We haven't seen much of him in the second half so far, and it comes down to the Philip Brady, who can't quite get around his opponent, but Brady back in possession, and he plays it outside to Jack Barry. Jack Barry has a shot, and the ball goes over the bar, and that is a score for Cavan. And two quick-fire scores from after the water break have put them back within a single point here, 112 to 14 points. Danny Byrne sends the ball out right, and it's going to drop down, but it's almost caught by a Cavan hand, but not quite. McGovern in possession, takes the helmet's taken off him by a Cavan man, and it should be a Leitrim free, because I think it was the Cavan intervention that took the helmet off his head, but remains to be seen what the referee does with this situation. He may throw the ball in, but the referee just call and play back. Obviously must be wearing a helmet and for safety reasons, so it will be a Leitrim free, and McDermott steps up on the halfway line. He's looking for something short. He's got a great ball down there to McNabola. McNabola skips around one. He's out of the reach of two. He plays it inside, and that's going to be a great effort, but it's drifting left, but it's not going to come back in. But that's an unfortunate attempt from Gavin O'Hagan, and the ball just to the left of the goal and wide from the Clooney and Lamont man. That's a massive puck out there from the Cavan goalkeeper. Ball drops to 19, Jack Barry, who finds a teammate there in the shape of his centre forward, Dermot Carney, who's been on the score sheet numerous times today. Anthony Sheridan, great long range effort, and we are level. It's going to be a humdinger for the last 15 minutes or so, as we're 112 to 15 points here in Avonmoney Park Sean Mcdermott. And it's going to be an opportunity for Cavan to put their name in the hat for that semi-final, or that final place in Division 3B of the National Hurling League. A great ball in there. It's going to come in, and umpire has decided it's gone over the bar, and that will be a point for Leitrim. Now we're beginning to see a bit of hurling. The first half was disappointing, but both teams have come to play in the second half, and it's a much improved performance from both sides, with their shooting boots on from wherever they want nearly on the pitch. It's out here to Matthew Hines under the main stand. A bit of pressure there from Jeremy Keller, but Hines comes away with the ball and finds a teammate. Intercepted by a Leitrim hurl. Looks to be, it's hard to tell in massive bodies down there, but it's going to be a Leitrim man that comes away with it, and that is Carl O'Donovan. And that ball coming in long, and great catch there. No, it's dropped, and it's Liam Morton, and he's going to find a bit of space here and stick it over the bar from that range, and he has put it to the right and wide, and he'll be disappointed with that finish, but it was good work up until that point from Morton, as Leitrim looked to maintain their 1 point advantage. A great ball out there to Dermot Carney out on the right wing, and he wins the ball and judged to have been fouled by his direct opposite number, Colin O'Donovan, or Ben Murray even. And the ref having a little chat with Murray. No card on this occasion. 6 players already in the book for Leitrim, which will be a bit of a worry as we get closer and closer to the end of this game, and little silly fouls get penalised a little bit tighter. And it will be Carney over this. Opportunity to level the score here. As a plane flies overhead, we can hear the noise of a plane here in Park Sean Mcdermott. It's a rare enough event in lovely Leitrim, so we'll pass comment on it when it does happen. But Dermot Carney here sends the ball in and looks to be good, looks to have the distance, and it's definitely got the range. And the point raised, it's back level here again with 12 minutes left on the clock, as we see a substitution for Cavan as Bart Nannery comes on to replace Freddie Williams on the Cavan side. There's also some action on the Leitrim bench, as we expect to see a change there as well, and and we'll bring you news of that as and when we get it. But it appears like it will happen sooner rather than later, and it's James Rooney who's warming up down there. Won't happen just yet as the ball comes in, and it's going to break to James McNabola. He gets the ball up into his hand and he finds a shot, and that looks to be going in. Danger in the square. Ball comes in, but keeper drops it. Keeper drops it and it's fouled, and not quite sure what happened there, but it looked to be a broken hurl at least anyway. And it's Cavan O'Hagan who's looking for a new hurl. As we have a change here, James McNabola making away. James Rooney coming into the action. One Hamilton man replacing the Carrick man here for Leitrim. As the ball preparing to come back out from this free kick, and the referee has given another yellow card to Gavin O'Hagan, who comes now looking for a replacement hurl. His broken down under us here. Darren Sheridan sends the ball long. It's going to come down here on top of a couple of players and comes in, hand up, and it's caught well there by Carney for Cavan, and he just misplaces that and down into the corner, and it's going to come to a Leitrim man. Feeney there for Leitrim, judged to have been fouled, and it's going to be a free out for Leitrim down in the corner, and the goalkeeper Danny Byrne preparing to come out and take that. The referee has moved it forward. Byrne may reassess, and no, he's going to come anyway and take it from here. Good long range puck from the goalkeeper. Should send this well into Cavan territory. That's a good ball over. McGovern out on the left hand side has possession. He gets round the challenger Killian Shannon, and he bursts through 2 or 3 Cavan men and scoops it in and scoops it over the bar, and it's a score for Leitrim. 114 to 16 points here in favour of Leitrim as they take a 1 point lead again. We've 10 minutes, just plus whatever stoppages the referee allows into the second half here. Just to give you score updates from around the grounds, up in Belfast we have another point for Leitrim. It's 5-8 to 1-11, still a 9-point margin in that game. Leitrim leading there by 9 points, and that's a wild challenge there from 18. Barton Arnery just in the field of play. Frustrations boiling over a little bit. I don't quite know why. He's only just entered the action and has won his free, but it gives Dermot Carney an opportunity to draw the team's level here again. The referee keeps his notebook in his pocket on this occasion. Louth currently leading 2-11 to 15 points, a 2-point lead for Louth in their clash in their other Division 3B game. That game taking place in the Louth Centre of Excellence in Darver in the wee county, and that of course will mean that Louth will top the table, but it does mean that a win for Cavan here would put them in the frame for that particular clash. Now they would need a bit of a change in the score difference. That's a great score. That looks to be a great score for Cavan, and they have drawn level here again. So interesting times ahead as the calculations and permutations start getting drawn up there. Of course, on a head-to-head basis, Cavan drew with Fermanagh, so they would require to be ahead of them on points difference. They came in with a 9-point gap in that, so you would need a 9-point margin between the result here and the result there. At the moment, you can't really see that happening, but stranger things have happened. That ball gone out over the sideline. They'll be very disappointed with that on the Cavan bench, and you can hear the frustration boiling over from Cavan as they begin to realise that they're within sneaking distance of a league final here. A substitution for Cavan as number 10 James Smith replaces 19 Jack Barry on the Cavan side. Leitrim prepared to take a sideline ball here as the side's currently level. 7 or 8 minutes left in the game. A number of changes been made on both sides already, and of course Leitrim carrying a large number of bookings at this stage of the game, so we'll be hoping that, from a Leitrim point of view at least, we'll be hoping that they won't boil into second cautions and dismissals, and this time it has gone the other way around. It's the Leitrim man who's carried the ball over the sideline. Colin O'Donovan, a judge to have stepped out of bounds and brought the ball with him, and it will be a Cavan sideline ball. For Cavan is Killian Shannon. Has been impressive at that kind of sweeper role for Cavan so far. Good ball down the corner. And it comes down to their forward, Darren Madden, who'll try and get control of the ball. He does in the corner and brings it back inside, and it's going to drop in around the square. Great hands from 21, and he finds the back of the net, and that's a goal. And that is Sean Keating from Pierce Og in Cavan, and he finds the back of the net, and it is game on now. Cavan have given themselves a huge advantage, not just in this game, but also in their bid to get to the league final. They lead by 3 points here. Put that with the 2-point deficit for Fermanagh in Louth, and they're within 3 or 4 points of reaching that league final. So there might be some good times ahead for the Breffni men here, as Anthony Sheridan gets to have another shot from distance. He finds the net, and Cavan are on a roll. 1-18 to Cavan, 1-14 to Leitrim. A 4-point lead for Cavan, and the challenge is on. As we look at another substitution here for Leitrim down underneath us here on the side. One of the selectors, Declan Deegan, is ready, and a substitute to come in. It looks like Colin Morton, actually, in terms of the body shape, but wearing 26. We'll see what happens later on, as Diarmuid Carney in possession of the ball. He finds Killian Shannon. Shannon back to Carney, and he is powerfully running through the middle of the Leitrim defence. He'll have a pop from there. No, he won't. He finds a teammate down in the corner, and that's going to be Darren Madden, who's judged to have been fouled, and it gives Diarmuid Carney a bit of a reprieve and a chance to go down there. 26 is coming into the fray for Leitrim. He's in the programme as Shane Crowe, but we'll see what happens in a minute, who he will be replacing down below us here. And Shane Crowe will replace Stephen Goldrick. So Stephen Goldrick, the Carrick Hurling man, will be replaced by another Carrick Hurling man. Stephen Goldrick makes way, and it is Shane Crowe who comes in for the last 5 minutes of this game. 5 minutes plus stoppages, of course. But a disappointing way for Leitrim to go in the last couple of minutes. A goal and a point in very, very quick succession has given Cavan a 4-point lead. And the news from Fermanagh, or from Louth, should I say, is that Fermanagh are now 3 points behind, 212 to 115, the score in Darver. And this point now actually puts the sides level in terms of the goal difference. So they'll be looking to capitalise here. There is a benefit to them. By the more they can win by, the bigger their chance of getting into a league final, and they'll be hoping to do that. So it could be a very, very good day for Cavan. Not bad considering they conceded a goal in the first minute of the game. Confusion here now as Matthew Hines looks for a ball to just a sliotar to restart the game from that sideline after the puck out goes to the right and off the side of the pitch. Hines places the ball. He's looking for a better location to put it, as looks to be another substitution incoming for the home side. Leitrim looking to empty the bench here now, and that's a well won by Ben Murray. And he plays it over the head of Cathal O'Donovan. O'Donovan onto it, gets it up nice, and McGovern's with him. But O'Donovan sends it back over this side, and it's towards Liam Morton. Liam Morton's up, wins the ball, gets possession into his hand, and comes away with the ball as well. He has a pop into the middle of the field, miscontrolled by the... but Morton, adjudged to have been fouled, obviously after the ball left, and it will be a free here. Interesting to see if Gavin or Carl McDermott take this, and Carl McDermott has waved towards Gavin O'Hagan, who is, as we mentioned, the regular free taker for Leitrim, and he comes out to hit this one. But 3 minutes left on the clock. There does appear to be movement on the Leitrim bench, and also on the Cavan bench. Fiacre Hughes appears to be readying himself for entry into the fray. I can't make out who the Leitrim player is at the moment. Maybe Conor Hackett, but the referee or the fourth official had gone to get the board. But that is a point from the hurler Gavin O'Hagan, his first of the game. And we have substitution, and it is, as we mentioned, Conor Hackett who comes in. He replaces Carl McDermott. Fine day for the Manor Hamilton man, and he'll be happy with his day, although not maybe the last couple of minutes in terms of the way the scoreline has gone for Leitrim. It's 119 to 115 in favour of Cavan. Fiacre Hughes still readying himself to come in. It won't be in this break and play, but possibly the next, as Darren Sheridan sends that ball down, well caught in the middle of the field by Mark Moffat. Moffat plays the ball into into this open space, but it's James Rooney who comes onto that and is fouled, and Rooney will settle for the free. David McGovern having words with his opposite number for Cavan. Faker Hughes only in the action, giving away the foul. The referee has called it back for 2 substitutions here. Philip McCabe and Faker Hughes will come in and making way. Mark Moffat in the first substitution. So officially it is Faker Hughes on for Mark Moffat, and Philip McCabe will replace number 8, Matthew Hines, who comes off for the last couple of minutes of this game. It's a 4-point lead here for Cavan, and they need every point. They came into this game 9 points behind Fermanagh in terms of scoring difference, and they will need that to flip to reach the semi-final or the final of Division 3B. That's a great effort from O'Hagan. Raises the flag, and now it's a 3-point game, so every score counts as it comes down to scoring difference between the two sides. Louth currently lead by 4 points in their clash in Darver in the other half of the games in this group, while it's a 3-point game here for Leitrim. There needs to be a 9-point swing for Cavan to progress to the final. Something they probably wouldn't have expected coming into today's game, but we are where we are, and that's a great run from Cavan, and straight into great pass there to 18. He's adjudged to be fouled, but the keeper has come out for that, but it's going to break to a Leitrim hurl, and a little bit of confusion there. 3 Cavan bodies. We'll see who comes out with the ball. It's Cavan in possession, and they will get a chance to scoop that over, and that has hit the post, it seems, and come back before it drops to the Leitrim goalkeeper, and it's cleared out as far as a Cavan player, and it's going to be Faker Hughes on the far side. He sends it back in. Umpires consult, waves the white flag. It's 120 to 116, 4-point lead for Cavan here again, as we enter injury time in this particular fixture. No indication as yet how much time will be. The 4th official looks to be raising his watch, and they have a conversation with the linesman. They're radioing into the referee looking for feedback on how long and how much to indicate. No clear sign just yet, but the referee reaching for his own microphone now. We'll probably find out from the 4th official how long will be added, but we are into that first minute of injury time now. And the 4th official raises the board to say 2 minutes. One of those almost played, and that has gone to the left and wide from O'Hagan, so it's going to be, as you were, 116 to Leitrim, 120 to Cavan. Half of the extra time played already played. It's 2-14 to 15 points in favour of Louth up in Darver, and what that means is for Cavan is that there is currently a 9-point swing, and if things stay the way they are at the moment, Cavan will be in the frame. They'll be level with Fermanagh. I'm not quite sure how they'll decide that. It might go down to points scored. I don't have that information to hand, but at the moment Cavan need a score to guarantee themselves a place in that league final. Leitrim, of course, only playing for pride at this point, and that's a score for Leitrim. Again, 117 to 120 here. Great effort there from, I think it was Liam Morton. Who has opened scoring today with a goal in the first minute. It hasn't gone Leitrim's way since then, but they will be hoping to, I suppose, build into a championship campaign. David McGovern on the ball there. He looked for someone out on the left wing. He plays it down there towards Dermot Kelleher. Kelleher on the ball, can't control it, but will win the 50. It's going to be a sideline ball to Cavan down there, as Nassaneri prepares to take a sideline ball. 3 points in it here. The game almost immaterial. Cavan victory, as we have mentioned repeatedly now, could possibly put them in a league final, but it will depend on results elsewhere. Louth looking comfortable in their home game against Fermanagh. They will be in the league final, and it will either be against Cavan or Fermanagh, depending on how these games finish up today. That's going to be another foul for Cavan. They need another score to increase their score rate and give themselves a fighter's chance of being in that game in a couple of weeks' time. here from a Leitrim point of view, it's all about, I suppose, just performance and showing what they can do and putting themselves in the shop window for their manager, Ulcan Conway, to select them in those two games in a couple of weeks' time against Mayo and Donegal. Guaranteed 2 games in the championship this year, and they'll be hoping to bring that as Leitrim break out of the possession there, and it comes down out here to Martin Feeney. Feeney with the ball down the line, he doesn't find anybody. The ball not caught, and it's going to be Enda Shalvey who has the last possession of the game as the referee draws the game to a close. Michael Kennedy blows the final whistle. That is it. Final score here in Leitrim is 117 to Leitrim, 120 to Cavan, a 3-point victory for the Breffni men. It may be enough because Louth have scored a goal in Louth, and it's 3-15 to 15 points. That game's still going on. As it stands, it looks like Cavan will in fact be in that league final when it rolls around in a couple of weeks' time. No final score yet from that game in Louth, but the current score 3-15 to Louth. Fermanagh 15 points, while in Leitrim, we will get, just before we finish up, we will bring you the final score from Corrigan Park, as Leitrim ladies have won that game 5-9 to 111. A great 10-point victory there for Leitrim ladies GA as they've pushed on their 3rd win from 3 in the league. For here in Leitrim, for hurlers, it's another disappointing day. 3 defeats from 3 in the league for Leitrim this year. They'll be disappointed with the manner of the second half performance and the way the game drifted away from them when they looked to be in control of that late on. But it will be Cavan happy. They'll probably be even happier when they realise the score has put them into a league final in the other side of the draw. From everyone here in Leitrim, thank you so much to our match sponsors, to winawedding.ie, to our cameraman Brian Blake, and to our technical whiz kid here, Martin Costello of AV Tech, and for myself, Breffni Early. Thank you so much for all your help and all your support over the last 2 games in the National Hurling League campaign here from Leitrim. From Avon Money, Park Sean Mcdermott, we're over and out.